Hello and welcome to Better Work Days, a show dedicated to helping everyday professionals create better days at work. I'm your host, Andy Morrison from Real Custom Training, where we design and deliver professional development workshops that are relevant, engaging, actionable, and lasting. Each week on Better Work Days, we'll be taking a look at a specific concept, skill, or story that we use in our workshops. We'll make sure that they're easy to understand, fun to learn about, and most importantly, that they can be applied immediately in the workplace as soon as you finish the episode. Thank you for joining us. It's time for Better Work Days from Real Custom Training. I'm Andy Morrison, welcoming you to the latest episode of Better Work Days from Real Custom Training. This week's episode is for any supervisor or manager who wants to make sure that the feedback you're giving your team drives their growth and their professional development. This week, we are looking at 3 keys to growth-centric feedback. Now, feedback is one of the most important skills that we help supervisors and managers develop. As we've talked about before on the podcast, supervising means you are overseeing, monitoring, and adjusting the work of others. And it's that adjusting part. That's where the rub comes in. That's the true challenge of being a supervisor or manager. Any of us can monitor and oversee the work of others, but when it comes to getting those people to adjust their behavior, adjust their performance, and most difficult of all, adjust their attitudes towards their work, that is a tall task. And that task is best accomplished with effective growth-centric feedback. Now, take a big step back and let's consider feedback from a universal perspective, okay? Anytime we have to give feedback to an employee, we've got one of 2 goals in mind. The first is the most obvious one. I'm sure it popped right into your head. You're looking to improve their performance, right? So the scenario we'll work with in this episode is that you've got an employee, Rocky, and Rocky is a great employee, excellent worker, does a tremendous job on all his assignments, but Rocky has started missing deadlines. So the projects are getting done, the work is really good, but they're not being handed in on time. And you're a little bit hesitant to give Rocky feedback because he's such a rock star. He's a stellar employee. And you maybe say to yourself, well, I guess I can live with the tardiness because the work is so good. But then you remember, no, you know why? Because Rocky's coworkers, the other people that I oversee, they're going to notice Rocky missing these deadlines. And they're going to start to think that it's okay to do so. And I really need to set the standard and the expectation for the whole team. No matter how good your work is, it's got to be handed in on time. So you decide, you know what? I've got to help Rocky improve that aspect of his performance. I've got to sit down and have a feedback conversation with Rocky. Now, the other goal of feedback, and this may be one that people are less apt to think of when it comes to feedback, but the other goal of feedback is to reinforce positive behavior. So if you're able to get through to Rocky and Rocky starts meeting the deadlines again, then you want to give feedback to reinforce that positive behavior. Okay. And that can even create a loop. You give feedback to improve the performance indeed does improve. Then you give more feedback to reinforce that positive behavior and reinforce that improvement. Now, when you're sitting down with Rocky to have we need to improve your performance conversation, here are the 3 keys that you could use to make sure you're giving feedback that's going to fuel the improvement, fuel the growth that you're looking for out of Rocky. And these 3 keys come right from the book Mindset, The New Psychology of Success by Dr. Carol Dweck. If you're not familiar with that book, check out episode 1 of Better Work Days. We give you a quick overview of the fundamental concept in that book, which is the concept of growth mindset versus fixed mindset. It's very important for employees, for all of us really, to try our best to cultivate and live with a growth mindset, especially in the workplace. And Dweck helps outline 3 ways that you can give feedback to ensure that you're promoting a growth mindset with your employees. So the first key, when you sit down with Rocky and you've got to have the conversation about improving his performance and meeting those deadlines, the first key is to try to emphasize how over what. And by that, I mean this. The what in this scenario is that Rocky's missing deadlines. Reports are being handed in late. The work is good in the reports, but they're being handed in late. That's the what of it all. You need to get that on the table clearly. A good acronym to remember is SOBO: situation, observation, behavior, and outcome. When you sit down with Rocky, you start with the situation. Rocky, uh, your reports have been handed in late more often than not for the past month or so. Okay, you're laying out the situation for him and you're offering an observation of his behavior. And I've observed that you don't seem particularly concerned when you're handing them in late. I've noticed there's no apology or anything like that. So I think we just need to get on the same page in terms of the expectations for when things are due. And then the outcome, okay, the O in SOBO, the outcome. You want to stress to Rocky what it's doing when his reports are coming in late. Is it adding stress for you? Is it adding stress for the other members of your team? Are there customers that aren't getting what they need when they need them because Rocky's reports are coming in late? Whatever the outcome might be, you want to stress that. So remember, situation, observation, behavior, and outcome. That's the best way to approach the what in your feedback conversation. But then you want to switch focus and really start emphasizing how. So if Rocky's reports are late, how is he coming to that conclusion? What process is he following? That's what you want to emphasize, is the process behind the failure on Rocky's part to get the reports in on time. So you want to get him talking about what kind of effort, strategy, and adjustments he's making when he's preparing these reports. And when you get into the how of it all, you're probably going to be able to help Rocky see some opportunities for growth. Maybe there's different time management things that he could try. Maybe there's a part of his process that you can help him make adjustments to. So you really want to emphasize in that performance improvement conversation the how behind it all. How is he going about his work that is resulting in these reports being late? The second key is setbacks. Okay, so obviously, if Rocky's reports are coming in late, that's a setback. Okay, you can also consider setbacks failures if you want to use that term. All right, you're not looking to beat him up over this. You simply want to look at these setbacks as an opportunity to improve. So you can say to Rocky, look, this is a great chance for you, an awesome, stellar employee who's got something to work on, just like we all do. You got to work on your time management. This is a great opportunity for you to fine-tune your time management and personal productivity skills so that you can start getting these reports in on time. So anytime you're giving feedback and you have to talk about somebody's failures or setbacks that they've experienced, frame them as opportunities for improvement. Okay? That puts them into the growth mindset. They're not saying, oh, I'm a failure. They're saying, oh, I failed to meet that deadline and I can get better at that. I can improve at that. And it gets them thinking about the future. You want your feedback to always be trying to point people towards the future because it's in the future that they're going to grow. So if it's growth-centric, it's also future-oriented. And then in that performance improvement conversation, you want to add deeper understanding for Rocky as the goal of the feedback that you're giving him and the goal of the work that he's going to have to do to improve his performance. That's a deeper understanding of himself, raising his self-awareness as to why he's missing these deadlines. It's raising his deeper understanding of how his behavior is affecting the team, how him contributing his reports late is affecting everybody, you, the team, the customers, okay? You want to emphasize that deeper understanding, and then you want to help him see that improving his time management skills, that a deeper understanding of time management and the implementation of time management skills is a worthy goal in and of itself. That's what you really want to hammer home to Rocky. Yes, you need him to get the reports in on time, but in a much larger sense, what you need him to do and what you're willing to help him do is come to a deeper understanding of time management and personal productivity. So focus on the how, present setbacks as opportunities to improve, and treat deeper understanding as the ultimate focus and goal of learning and feedback. And those are 3 keys to giving growth-centric feedback. Now, that was all for the performance improvement conversation that you want to have with Rocky. Now, let's say it goes swimmingly. All of a sudden, a month later, you're looking back and you say, you know what? Rocky hasn't missed a deadline in a month. That conversation really got through to him. Well, that's when you want to have the feedback conversation to reinforce positive behavior. And these Three keys will work in that conversation as well. So get Rocky back in your office. Say, Rocky, you haven't missed a deadline in a month. Great job. Tell me how. How did you come about making this improvement? Would you adjust in your own time management strategies? What type of effort did you put into it? Get him to talk about how he made that accomplishment. It's all well and good if you just say, Rocky, you haven't missed a deadline in a month. Great job. That sounds good, right? But you're not really reinforcing the growth then, okay? You want to get into the how of it all. How did you come about making that improvement that I wanted you to make? All right, setbacks again. If Rocky says, yeah, it is going well, but I am struggling with this aspect of it, then again, it's a setback. It's another opportunity to improve. Or maybe Rocky does miss a deadline after a month of not missing them. Not the end of the world. It's another setback. It's another opportunity to improve. And then lastly, deeper understanding. Ask Rocky, what'd you learn about yourself? What'd you learn about your work process? What'd you learn about how your work affects the entire team? Have these conversations and treat deeper understanding as the ultimate goal of the feedback, whether you're looking to improve performance or reinforce positive behavior. If you can do that, you will be fueling growth in your employee anytime you give them feedback. Now, if this has been helpful, I would encourage you to consider our effective delegation and feedback workshop that we have coming up in April. This is part of a new series that we're launching called Supervisory Deep Dives. Each workshop in the Supervisory Deep Dive series is going to look at 2 skills that you can build over 2 sessions with us. So this first workshop covers effective delegation and feedback skills. So you can come spend 2 Wednesday mornings with us here in Putnam, Connecticut in the month of April. 2 Wednesday mornings, you'll walk away with 2 vital skills, including giving growth-centric feedback to your team. So thank you for listening. As always, like and subscribe on YouTube. Leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Music. That really helps the podcast grow. If you're interested in learning more about our workshops and the work that we do here at Real Custom Training, don't forget we're located in Northeastern Connecticut, but we can work with anybody around the world online. So if you're interested in partnering with us, and if you want to learn how we can help your employees develop and grow, you can visit us at realcustomtraining.com. You can also connect with us on Facebook and LinkedIn, and you can continue to catch lessons like this every week here on Better Work Days. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time.